It's a halftime adjustments. We don't. We're shot in the water with our first time.
You're losing to these scrubs? Get your shit together.
It's there. We see it. So then what's the problem? Amon-Ra St. Brown is that guy.
But he's not that dude. That dude is a playmaker. That dude can break it to the house.
We delayed it as long as we could. We do have to talk Detroit Lions, 31-27. They fall to the Miami Dolphins. And for the fifth half, in their last 6 halves, the Detroit Lions do not score a point, which is wild because the offense was humming. There's a couple of different ways I want to go. Terry's pissed. He doesn't want to talk about him. Fans seem broken leaving Ford Field. Again, not in the general sense of Lions fandom because we're never going anywhere. Like, that's just the grim reality. As far as this season is concerned, they're 1-6. I got nothing else to say. I mean, it came down to that 4th and 2 call. All I saw all afternoon, and you guys know this about me, D-Mac, I want the ball. If I'm going to go down, if I'm going to die, I'm dying with my guys. Like, I'm forcing it into Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm giving it to DeAndre. I'm going down with my guys. Because what did the Dolphins do all day long? Tua just hit everybody in the chest.
Waddle Hill.
Boom in the chest.
But here's
Boom
the
in
whole
the chest.
thing. What's the apparent thing? There's a lot of apparent things that you can bring up. But we don't make halftime adjustments. This team does not.
That's a great call by you.
That's the biggest difference. Is we've seen them get off, and did I not sit here and say I took Detroit plus 3.5, but I thought they would score. They're coming back home. I didn't like Miami's defense as much, so I expected the first half. But what don't we do that other good, not even good teams, the other mid teams and the teams that we think that we're supposed to be in? Sort of the Jacksonvilles will come down to earth, but like the Giants and the Jets and these other things, it's a halftime adjustments. We don't. We're shot in the water with our first time, and it's because we don't adjust on defense, and then our offense sputters out. So, to me, that's as glaring as calling a timeout or calling a review or anything like that. That, to me, is coaching. And
I don't think teams make halftime adjustments against the Lions. And I base that just on conversations I've had with players from opposing teams. They come in, what they said, coaches come in, their halftime adjustment is this: you're losing to these scrubs, get your shit together. That's their halftime adjustment. What is wrong with you? When you look at the first half, Miami, all the penalty. Miami kept shooting themselves in the foot. But they cleaned that up a little bit, as much as they could. But Miami's getting dogged for a bad performance in Florida now. Because
my buddy I was with at the game, he was beside himself with the penalty. There was like 11 pre-snap penalties or something like that.
Miami was awful yesterday.
But what do you make of your gold jacket guy, even like the mentality where there's 3 in a row, Sewell goes 2 penalties back to back, but the false starts and stuff like this, which comes down to a discipline or a focus, right? That's what it is. That good teams.
Miami was way more unfocused than the Lions were yesterday, but they were able to overcome it
because they got the ball to their dudes. Mm-hmm. That was the difference to me in all this. And when you go back, halftime lead against the Dolphins, halftime lead against the Cowboys, if memory serves. Tied with the Vikings at halftime lead with the Commanders, the game that they won. It is there. Like I am starting to think this for real. It's there. We see it. So then, what's the problem? When it comes down to it, what's the problem? ...
So I think we're coming to the point of the season where it's going to be hard to motivate other players to play the Lions. They're like, okay, we just come in here and win. But even with the Lions, you've got to play football. And I think it takes a while for teams to realize, these dudes can actually play a little bit, but we just got to play our regular game and we should be able to beat them.
And see, WoodwardSports.com chat that Ethan Brown says Miami has dudes, the Lions don't. See, Amon-Ra St. Brown, we can say this about this. That offense, when Amon-Ra St. Brown is there, is 180 different than what it is. He is a dude, man. Mm-hmm. Amon-Ra St. Brown is that guy.
Well, you saw the lick he took early on in the game by the safety coming over, and he just bounced right back up. I mean, he's tough.
He got cracked. That was a big hit.
Yeah. And guess what he did?
Held onto the
but
ball.
He's not that dude. That dude is a playmaker. That dude can break it to the house. That dude is the one that can change the game. What Amon St. Brown does is he keeps the chains moving.
Right.
He keeps you respectable. He's tough. He can get you the tough yard. But, I mean, some of these other guys in the league is like, okay, we're down 3. Give me the ball. I'll take it to the house.
Jameson Williams.
That's not who he is. And that's what the Lions need more of.
Jameson Williams.
No,
Right.
and
That's why they
Terry,
drafted him.
Which you're hoping as I'm watching Tyreek Hill run all over us, I'm thinking, oh man, something to look forward to. The gift of Jameson Williams. Hopefully that's the speed. Like you saw it, even Neal, is that like you can't out throw him. You can't throw him open. It's always under, but he goes and he's a ball hawk.
Well, see, here's the thing with me, Terry. Like when we say that, Amon-Ra St. Brown 10 targets, but Tyreek Hill 14 targets.
Yeah.
You know what? Like at some point, when do you shrink it? When do you shrink it and go to your guys? When?
That's what you should do. I think Dan Campbell's still in the, and Ben Johnson are still in the. Just spread it around, and whoever we think is open. But sometimes you milk a guy. I thought when Calvin Johnson was at his height, they're like, okay, he's covered. We're still going to him.
Right. That's my point.
In the NBA, sometimes coaches keep moving around, going to this player, that player, whatever. But a lot of times, coaches are like, they're not stopping it, so we're gonna go to it again and again and again. And that's what the Lions need to do.
Robert Closey at WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I got a million things to do this morning, but I wanted to drop in real quick and point out that Aaron Glenn needs to be on the block due to his third down defensive play calls. And
my dad texted me that yesterday. He was like, maybe it's time to move on from AG.
have we ever seen something move this quickly? From the Aaron Glenn in August to October. Have you ever seen anything move this quickly?
But But where we're at when we're talking about this, like Terry, about I've had enough or whatever, talking about Aaron Glenn, isn't reality more setting in to fans to say this is what we have instead of what we think we have or what we're told we have? So it might be that time because we're frustrated, but we're beyond being upset, frustrated because it's the same old thing. We're just ready to move on and go on to focus on something else.
And it's true. And it's wild again.
Which would, you know what, to me, I just think back to why did Sheila come out and talk last week? Because they smelt this coming too, where you say people are going to turn it off and turn away. And is it going to get worse before it gets better? But I think because the writing's on the wall, to the fact, how often are you, when I watch football and I see other teams their defenses get other teams into third down and 10 or plus and stuff like this, usually they stop them from getting a first down or whatever. Yesterday it didn't even matter because Miami's game plan too was they were going for it on fourth down most of the time anyways. So they don't have respect for your defense. So I think it's just the fact that you see people bringing it up. Reality is set in.
I hate to be old guy, but
you're the old guy.
You are.
In the 90s and in the 2000s.
These are the 1990s and 1890s.
The 1990s,
Okay.
The Lions, it would be 3rd and 17. And I could get half the time the team would get 18 yards and keep marching down the field. This is what the Lions do.
So it's
The Lions
30
haven't
years later,
changed.
Terry, it's the same thing.
And
Lions haven't changed in 50
yesterday,
years.
8 of 12 on third down.
Right.
Yeah.
8 of 12 on third down.
And it's not like they were 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. They were like 3rd and long, but they couldn't stop one of two guys going through the middle and catching the ball.
But see, here's the thing too, because I know I'll cut you guys off before you even do it, because I know this is coming up soon. Who were the only guys defensively that were making plays yesterday?
Malcolm Rodriguez and Kirby Joseph.
You knew right away.
Rookies.
Right away, you knew.
Yeah.
Like, this is why they're two separate entities to me. This is why I believe in some of the guys that are on the team. Who do we keep talking about all the time? Who? If you're looking at guys that are actually performing, who do we talk about?
Penei Sewell, Malcolm Rodriguez,
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
St. Brown. Yeah.
Like,
Brad
that's
Holmes
it.
draft picks.
Yeah. And Kirby Joseph, I'll say this, man. At the beginning,
it was rough.
It was rough, and I was like, I don't know if this guy's it. And now it's exactly like the football finds him.
He's a ball hawk.
Or he finds the football. I don't know which one it is,
And the
but I
more
don't care which one it
comfortable
is.
that he gets and the more reps that he gets, I got to assume the better he gets. That's what we're seeing. So we have pieces there. It's just that is the scheme. It comes back to, are the coaches putting the players in the possible, or is it lack of talent?
AJ Parker was getting torched. Yesterday. I meant to text Malcolm and ask him after the game. I'll probably do that today.
Oh,
But
excuse us.
don't
Let us get in the way.
I wanted to ask him, like, how fast.
Congrats on your first sack.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
And I want to ask him, like, how fast is Tyreek Hill, like, in real life? Like, actually seeing him up close like that, like, how fast is he?
Oh, like,
Because Malcolm Gardner, he was on him a couple times. He broke up a pass to him once.
it was funny seeing him in person. That was the first time I'd ever seen Tyreek Hill in person.
Yeah.
And I think, unlike a lot of other things, I think his speed translates on television, even with the way he runs away from people. But you just watch, when he gets the ball in space, the biggest thing that I saw, when he gets the ball in space, you see everyone that's on that side of the field. Everybody just does this for a second.
Yeah.
Is he like when I talk about like a Nathan McKinnon or Connor McDavid faster with the puck? Is he when he gets the ball?
Absolutely.
When he gets the ball, he's faster.
Yeah.
Right. And that's amazing because it's usually opposite.
He is the Lambo, he's the Ferrari, and he's fun to watch. And I've said this even back when he was with the Chiefs. He's my favorite player in the NFL to watch.
Yeah.